Welcome to Joy Recovery Radio. This is an educational podcast about betrayal trauma, deceptive sexuality, and the integrity work required when a relationship has been harmed by hidden sexual behavior. You might be here because you're trying to understand what happened in your relationship, or you might be here because you're trying to figure out what comes next. Either way, there's a place for you in this conversation. We talk about betrayal and recovery in a way that honors both what was lost and what might be rebuilt. You're invited to listen slowly, take what resonates, and leave the rest. Let's begin.
I hear a common complaint from men when it comes to the Minwalla model, the model that is the foundation of our work. It goes something like this. This model does not let me have a voice. Normally, he's come to a conclusion about what this work requires of him. And this is what he has concluded. It requires him to disappear. He feels like this is Operation Erasure. There's many things in this work that a man has to dismantle, that he has to unlearn. This is one of those things. Everything I talk about today assumes one condition. And if that condition is absent, none of this applies to you. You can go ahead and stop listening. The condition is this: active deception has ended. If you're still running any part, and I do mean any part, of the deceptive, compartmentalized reality, if there's one detail you're holding back, one secret you're sitting on, then this episode is not for you yet. You don't have a voice problem. You have an integrity problem. And that is the only work you need to focus on right now. Using your voice to disclose to her the truth. Period. But for those of you who have a complaint about the Minwalla model, let me put 4 of those typical complaints on the table right now. These are composites. No one client of mine is in any of them, but I imagine every man listening to this episode will recognize that he has said at least one of these. Let me offer 4. Every time I try to give a context or explain, I am told that I'm being defensive. Number 2, she can say anything she wants to. To me, I say one word back, and now I'm abusing her. Number 3, I'm not allowed to have feelings. Number 4, this model treats me like a perpetrator, like an abuser, and nothing else. 4 complaints. Each one contains a request, and the request is basically the same in all 4. Underneath the request is an assumption so ordinary that most men never evaluate it, that his account of events belong in the room at the moment that he wants to put it there. Now, 3 of those 4 complaints also contain a legitimate grievance. I'll get to which 3 later. Some of you heard this episode's title and thought that maybe you had found a permission slip. If speaking is dangerous, then quiet must be safe. This model wants me to be quiet. Not so fast. Quiet is also a weapon, and most of you already know how to use that weapon. Yes, there is a kind of silence that is presence. The man who is in the chair, his eyes are on his partner, his body is available to listen, he is holding what she is saying, and he's going to be just as available to her an hour later. But there's another kind of silence that fills the house for 4 days. It's punishment, with plausible deniability. It says nothing, but your partner hears it loud and clear. Shame collapse is the version that fools most men, because it feels like humility from the inside. He goes quiet. He shrinks. He says some version of, I'm a monster, or you're better off without me. And the whole room reorganizes around his despair. Men, you have to watch out for this, because you just recruited her into reassuring the same person who injured her. Here is what we teach instead, and I want to be very precise with this. Men hear this as a permanent gag order, and it has never been that. Men, you have 4 integrity moves. They go in this order. Number 1, hold. Stay in the room. Stay in your body. No collapse. No counterattack. No leaving the conversation while your body stays in it. Regulation is the first skill, and it is a skill, which means it's trainable, and it's currently untrained in most of you. A man who cannot sit inside his partner's pain without going somewhere else has nothing to offer her yet. And everything he says from that posture will be a request for relief. Number 2, validate. Say back what she said. Keep it accurate. Don't soften it. Don't add words to it. Accuracy is the whole work right here. And men, watch the word but. Most men do not leave accountability with a speech. They leave it with one word. I know I lied, but I was scared. I know I crossed that line, but you hadn't been close to me in years. Everything before the word but becomes a receipt. It proves you said something that sounded accountable. Then the sentence walks right back out of it. Don't use a but, use a period. Say things like, I lied to you, period. I hurt you, period. I crossed that line, period. You can talk about your fears somewhere else. You can talk about the marriage history somewhere else. You can talk about your loneliness and your shame and your resentment somewhere else. In this room with her, the true victim, at this point in your work, use the period, not the but. If she says you were lying to me for 4 years while I asked you directly, your validation is this: I was lying to you for 4 years while you asked me directly. Not some kind of paraphrase that shortens the number or makes you look better. Not a version that adds a reason. Number 3, own. Take the specific piece that belongs to you in authenticity, in behavioral language, with no cause attached. On the 3rd of March, I told you I was at my mom's house. I wasn't. I was acting out. Behavior, date, effect. No because. The moment a because enters, ownership has ended and explanation has begun. And finally, number 4, offer. Later, and possibly never, an explanation. Only if she asks for it. Only when it cost her nothing to hear it. Only when you can say it and accept that she keeps every conclusion she held before you ever open your mouth. Some of you men are asking, why don't I have a right to explain things, especially if she's wrong? That's fair. Let me give you 5 questions. You run them in your mind before you speak, and you run them honestly. Before you explain, before you say something, number 1, did she ask for it? Right now. Did she use those words in this hour and ask you to explain it? Number 2, if I say it and she believes every word, what changes for her? If the honest answer is that she would see me as slightly less negative, that sentence is probably for you, not for her. Number 3, whose distress goes down when I say what I'm about to say? Is it yours or is it hers? Number 4, can I say it and let her keep every conclusion she arrived at before I spoke? And number 5, can your explanation wait a week? If waiting produces panic in you, The panic is information about what the explanation was for and who it's for.
Do you want to go deeper with teaching like what you're hearing today? That's why we created the Joy Recovery Academy. The Academy is our flagship educational space, designed to help you make sense of betrayal trauma, integrity abuse, and what real recovery actually looks like. This is where clarity replaces confusion and where you finally get a map for your recovery, for both the betrayer and the betrayed. The Academy includes live teaching with Q&A twice a week, and every live teaching is available anytime in our on-demand video library in case you can't make the live event. The Academy also features hundreds of the same tools and resources that we use with our private coaching clients. Right now, you can get the first 7 days free, so you can check it out and see if it is what you're looking for. Go to joy-recovery.com, click Academy, and join us today.
So where does my voice go? Your voice has somewhere to go. It goes into your men's group. It goes to your accountability partner. It goes to your coach or your therapist at length, in detail, with the entire account and the self-justifying parts left in, so someone can look at them with you. It goes into a written journal that you keep for yourself that's dated and unedited. That version where you still think she's being unfair to you. Every one of those rooms can hold the full account of what you're feeling and what you think. None of them require your partner, who is the true victim, who is bleeding still. You're not requiring her to absorb it so that you can feel understood or feel better. Men in this work are not usually short on speech. Most of you have talked for years. What has been rare is a listener who was not also a hostage. You haven't really lost your voice. In fact, this work asks more of your voice than you have ever known. We're asking your voice to be used for proactive transparency. That is your speaking assignment. This is what you do with your voice. It requires you to say the truth to her before she asks for it. This is the first and main use of your voice, and most men will do anything to avoid that. And it is the one legitimate use of your voice that produces actual movement in your relationship. A man who tells me that he has no voice, but he's not volunteering radical transparency to his partner, is really only wanting to use his voice for his own benefit, not for hers, and not for healing. Your voice has not been taken from you. Your voice has been given a job, and it's harder than you want it to be. What do you do with your voice? You bring it to the right space. The right room is part of the repair. A lot of men think recovery means that they stop having certain thoughts and certain feelings. It's not true. Early on, you will still have self-pity. You will still feel misunderstood. You will still build a private courtroom where you are the defendant, the attorney, the judge, and somehow also the victim. That's fine. Bring all of that courtroom, everything, to your men's group, to your accountability partner, to your therapist or coach. Say the ugly version out loud to men who will not let you decorate it. Tell them, I think she's overreacting. I think I'm being punished forever. I want credit for telling the truth for 2 months. I'm mad that she gets support and all I get is consequences and boundaries. Share those things. That's good. Now we have something to work with. It's not dangerous that you have those thoughts. The danger is that you believe it's okay to bring them to the person that you harmed. That is not okay. Bring them to the room that's built for dismantling them. Some of you insist on having a voice. Fine. Here are 6 sentences for your voice that you can use today that are full of integrity. Number 1, that happened. I did that. Number 2, I lied to you on the 3rd of March, and I'll let you carry that for 2 years. Number 3, you're right. And I do not have a version of this that is better than what you just said. Number 4, I want to explain, but I'm not going to. You can ask me whenever you want, my version. Number 5, I can stay here present with you as long as you need. I am not going to abandon you. Number 6, what you remember is accurate. My memory has been an unreliable witness for years. Conversely, here are 8 sentences that camouflage as integrity. They look like ownership, but they function as self-defense. Some of you are going to hear your own voice in these, and that's the point. Number 1, I take full responsibility, but let me explain. Number 2, you're absolutely right, but you got the details wrong in the timeline. Number 3, I hate myself for what I did to you. That is a bid for her to comfort you. Number 4, I'm doing everything I can. That's asking the person you injured to accept your performance review. Number 5, well, that's not who I am anymore. Integrity doesn't declare itself. Number 6, I have already apologized for that. Number 7, I understand your reaction. You do not understand her reaction. You do not understand what she's going through. Number 8, I just want you to know that none of it was ever about you. That is a comfort that you constructed. That doesn't work for her. Here's what a lot of men are actually reacting to. Many men are not reacting to losing their voice. They're reacting to her gaining her voice. You may very well be grieving the loss of your power and her empowerment. You may feel threatened that she is sharper than she's ever been. She remembers dates. She traces your patterns. She could not have described it 2 years ago. She asks you a question, and then she asks the same question again from a different angle, and she catches the difference in your story. Men experience this as escalation, or as her becoming someone else, or she's punishing me, she's out to get me. It's none of those things. Her function is simply returning. The instrument that you disabled with your deception, it's coming back online. And its first act is to test everything, especially you. A betrayed partner whose second brain, her gut, her instinct, her intuition, is now reactivating. At times, it will overshoot. There are moments that she will be hypervigilant before she is discerning. And that's the correct order for her. The same way that the correct order for you is holding your explanation before offering it. A man who understands that will stop experiencing her questions as an attack. He will start experiencing her questions as evidence that something in her survived what he did to her. Let's come back to the 4 complaints. The first complaint. Every time I try to give context, I am told that I'm being defensive. This one is not a grievance. This one is not legitimate. This one is a description of the work operating correctly. Context, your explanation offered by the person who built the basement into the ears of the person who lived above the basement without knowing, that is defensiveness by its very function. No matter how calmly your voice is when you deliver it, or how factually accurate your sentence is. Let's look at the 3 complaints that do have something in them. The first one is legitimate. She can say anything she wants to me. I say one word back, and now I'm abusing her. There's actually 2 versions of this. There's a sloppy version of this complaint, and there's the real version. The sloppy version is a man wanting equal speaking rights inside of an unequal injury. He wants the room to forget who was deceiving whom. He wants her anger and his reaction to her anger weighed on the same scale. That's not going to work. If you created the deceptive system, then her nervous system is responding to a reality that you built and you hid from her. Her volume does not erase your conduct. Her anger doesn't make the harm mutual now. Her dysregulation does not give you a clean path to counterattack her. But there is still a real issue here. A betrayed partner can be traumatized, and in that trauma, she may threaten or mock or shame you or try to punish you. When that happens, the question for the man is very specific. Can you hold that without using it to lower your accountability and hurt her more? That is the whole skill. That's integrity. A clean, integrous response sounds something like this. I hear that you are furious. You have legitimate reason to be furious. I'm going to stay with the part that belongs to me. I also cannot continue if we're going to move into mocking or threats. I'm going to take a time out for 20 minutes, and I will come back for this conversation. That sentence is not a counterattack. It's not arguing the facts. It doesn't make her pain the real problem. It protects her, it protects yourself, without you becoming the victim. Most men can't do this, not at first. They either submit to her with resentment or they fight for equality. And neither one is recovery, neither one is integrity. The work you need to do is learning to be accountable and boundaried at the same time. That is a very narrow road. Walk it anyway. Another complaint is this. I'm not allowed to have feelings. Yes, you are. You may be losing your marriage. You may be losing daily life with your children. You may be losing your home or your church or your reputation, your retirement plan, a shared group of friends. You may be losing a future you assumed would still be there when the basement was finally exposed. That does hurt. I have sat with men who are wrecked. Real tears, legitimate fear, very real grief. A man says, I know I did this, but I don't know how to live in this wreckage. That sentence can be authentic. The question is this, where does it lead you? If you take that grief to your partner while she's still trying to find stability for herself, it becomes a claim on her. You are asking the injured person to comfort the person who caused the injury. Even if you did not mean it that way, that is the pressure you're putting on her. Take the grief that you feel to men who can hold it without cleaning it up for you. Take it to your accountability. Take it to your men's group. Take it to your therapist and your coach. The fourth complaint is the hardest one for a lot of men. This model treats me like an abuser, a perpetrator, and nothing else. I've been flattened to the worst thing I ever did. A man hears the word abuse and he feels like his whole life is collapsed into one category. His childhood disappears. His own wounds disappear. His good moments with his kids as a good dad, they disappear. His tenderness doesn't matter. His work ethic, his faith, his fear, his confusion, his history of good things that he did in his life all seem to get pushed off the table. I understand why men react like that. I had the same initial reaction to this model. I also understand why partners often don't want to hear it. Because for many years, the man's complexity was used as a cover for his deception. His stress mattered. His shame mattered. His childhood mattered. His trauma mattered. His loneliness mattered. His good intentions mattered. Meanwhile, the facts stayed hidden, and she kept trying to build a life inside a reality that he was editing. So when he says, I am more than what I did, here's what she hears. Please stop looking at what I did. This is why timing is everything. You are more than your abusive behavior. You are not defined by that. And your partner does not owe you a better picture of you while she's still bleeding from the picture that you gave her. Good integrity work should never reduce a person to the worst thing he ever did. I do not want men walking around with a permanent identity of a monster. Shame will eat that man alive, and then he will either collapse or perform or go back underground into the basement. You do have dignity, value, and worth. I do believe that. But your dignity cannot be used to dodge accuracy. The accurate sentence is this: I am a whole person worthy of dignity, and I caused abuse to my partner. Both have parts to stay in your identity. If you drop the first part, you collapse. If you drop the second part, you manipulate. You need to hold both truths. I'm going to answer the question that every man has been holding since the first second of this podcast. When do I get my voice back? There's no date. There's no timeline. Nobody's going to hand you a certificate that says that the sequence has been served and now your speech is restored. If you're waiting for that, you're still running an accounting system. And the accounting system is a residue of the same entitlement that built the basement in the first place. What does exist instead of a timeline is a set of 5 conditions before you have the voice that you want. Number 1, deception has been fully ended. For so long that you have become predictably boring to your partner. That first condition eliminated many of you right there. Condition number 2, you have held, you have validated, and you have owned what you've done for months, including those moments when it cost you something and nobody clapped for you. Number 3, you can sit inside her pain and her anger without finding an exit or somehow making it about you for months. No exceptions. 4th, you have stopped tracking whether your changes are being noticed by her. And finally, number 5, she asked you to share your perspective. Unprompted. Present tense, right now. That's when you speak. When those conditions are all present, something happens. She asks a question, and you answer it, and the answer contains an explanation or context, and there's no explosion. This is usually well over a year into recovery, and only if you're doing serious integrity work. If you're a man in this work, and you've been counting the days until you get to explain yourself, you need to go count something else. Men, this work does not take away your voice. In fact, it channels it. Your voice must get quieter in one direction and louder in another. Use your voice to share reality with her. Proactive transparency with her. That is your voice. And stop using your voice to challenge, contest, and correct her reality. Men, joy is possible when you live in integrity.
Thank you for listening to Joy Recovery Radio. If today's episode was helpful, you can find additional educational resources and information about the Joy Recovery Academy at joy-recovery.com. Remember, joy is possible when you live in integrity.